Peningkatan harga makanan terus menekan konsumen Amerika Serikat. Dan menurut harian bisnis The Wall Street Journal, anggaran rata-rata rumah tangga untuk kebutuhan primer ini meningkat ke level tertinggi dalam 3 dekade. Saat ini konsumen Amerika rata-rata membelanjakan 11,3% pemasukannya untuk makanan, hampir sama dengan angka untuk tahun 1991.
Egg prices were back up again. Meat products also saw some big jumps. Also, carbonated beverages, soda prices jumped a lot.
Tapi bersama dengan melandainya laju inflasi secara umum, kenaikan harga makanan juga ikut mereda.
While prices are rising for food, they're rising at a much slower rate than they were a year ago or 2 years ago.
Indeks harga pembelanjaan konsumsi pribadi, Personal Consumption Expenditures atau PCE, menunjukkan penurunan laju inflasi secara tahunan ke angka 2,4% menurut laporan Departemen Perdagangan AS. Indeks harga pengeluaran konsumsi pribadi ini merupakan acuan utama bagi The Fed untuk menentukan suku bunga acuan, terutama bila tidak menyertakan harga pangan dan juga energi yang memiliki volatilitas tinggi, atau dikenal sebagai PCE inti. Dan PCE inti ini peningkatannya mencapai 2,8%, sementara target The Fed adalah inflasi sebesar 2%. Tapi menurut analis, arahnya sudah sesuai ekspektasi Bank Sentral.
Inflation now has been on a steady trajectory toward the Federal Reserve's target since the middle of 2022. And while the CPI and the personal consumption expenditures deflator that we saw this morning have been giving somewhat mixed results, indicating that the last mile of inflation may be somewhat more challenging to accomplish, the trend clearly remains in place and sets the stage for the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates sometime near the midpoint of this year.
Selain itu, pengamat lain menilai The Fed tak menganggap remeh risiko resesi.
Over the next 3 years, the Fed is forecasting to cut short-term interest rates by 250 basis points, 75 basis points this year, and 325 basis point cuts likely during the second half of the year, another 100 basis points in interest rate cuts in 2025, and yet another 75 basis points in 2026. Yet all the while, they don't forecast inflation coming back to their 2% target until the end of 2026. They believe it's going to finish this year somewhere between 2.4 and 2.6%. So that tells me they're much more comfortable with inflation staying above 2%, albeit below 3% as well, than they are with their own forecasted economic slowdown dipping into a recessionary period.
The Fed telah menaikkan suku bunga acuan 11 kali sejak Maret 2022 guna meredam laju inflasi yang sempat menembus angka 9%. Dari Washington DC, Nova Purwadi dan tim VOA.